Have you heard of Lumen? Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. And on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs and gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workouts, sleep, and even stress management.
All you have to do is breathe into your lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. Then Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements. You can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals, so you know exactly what's going on in your body in real time.
We talk a lot about healthy habits on Handsome. Well, your metabolism is a big part of that. Think of your metabolism like your body's engine. It's how your body turns the food you eat into fuel that keeps you going. Lumen gives you better knowledge of your metabolism and gives you recommendations to improve your metabolic health.
So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/handsome to get 15% off your Lumen. That's LUMEN.me/handsome for 15% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. Home shopping season is upon us. That means you may be in the market for new home insurance. Whether you're a new home buyer or an existing homeowner, there's never been a better time to switch and save money on your home insurance with Allstate.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod. Chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Cheers. Welcome to the Handsome Pod. I'm Fortune Feimster.
I'm May Martin.
And I am Tig Notaro, as always. It's always me.
It's always you. Nothing different.
I always think it's funny when somebody walks up and says, "Oh my God, is that you?" And I'm like, well, yeah, it's always going to be me.
Can't get away from yourself.
I've had people say, "Are you somebody?" I go, "Aren't we all somebody? We're all somebody."
Yeah. The "are you somebody" is a crazy one.
Somebody said to me the other day, "No offense, but you look like the comedian Tig Notaro."
No,
I've had that. God. I've had that as well.
Oh my God, that's crazy. What did you say?
I said, "No offense taken, but tis I." And they're like, "Oh, nice to meet you."
There's any no offense is always
an offense.
Something offended.
It's always an offense.
Yeah. Don't take this the wrong way, but
my brother used to always, when we were kids, say something really insulting and then go, "For a joke, for a joke, for a joke."
I'm teasing. My bad.
That's the thing when jokes don't land and only you thought it was funny, but the person you were joking with didn't.
Oh God. Yeah. Has that happened to you recently?
It happens. I mean, I've made jokes that people didn't get, and you have to work your way out of that and explain.
Well, you're very dry. Sometimes it is hard to know if you're teasing or not.
Look, I don't know if I am half the time.
Yeah, you're like, I might genuinely hate the person I'm talking to. I can't tell anymore. How are you guys? It's good to see you.
Yeah,
it's good to see you too.
That's a weird personality that just
it's good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to have you, new person.
I'm lonely. This is
because you're in Toronto, right?
Yeah, and I haven't been socializing. I've just been working, and I haven't seen Parv in weeks. And they take her phone away when she's filming. So
yeah,
I don't know.
How long has it been since you've talked to her?
Almost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Parvati films the kind of stuff that you have to put your phone away.
Yeah. No, listen. I'm very secure. I'm in my action hero era.
You're very hot.
Are you doing action on your show?
I'm a cop, so I gotta do gun stuff, and
Sexy.
I hate guns, and it's but yeah, no, I killed a kid the other day. Spoiler. Stabbed a kid.
Unrelated to the show.
May's on the run.
I'm on the run.
Go to Thailand.
Yeah.
Isn't it hilarious that all of us are in this like action
It's so
kind
stupid.
of
It's so
It's
stupid.
hilarious.
That,
I
whatever
have a
this
bad
world
back.
you would call it.
yeah, it's so funny. Tig's on a spaceship flying around. You're
I'm in
getting
the
dragged.
CIA and
Yeah.
helicopters and machine guns.
And I'm a cop with a pregnant wife in a creepy town.
That is wild. Are you liking how it's coming together?
Yeah, I hope so. It's so hard to tell, right? Till the end. My thing right now is like, if I'm overwhelmed, I just focus on the wrong details. Like I'm obsessed with getting the rights to this Pink Floyd song, and I'm like, if I can get this song, then the whole thing will be great. And it's like, well, think about the scripts. Maybe.
It is a wild feeling before something comes out, after you've put your heart and soul into it, and then you don't know if everyone's gonna attack you.
Yeah, you're like, well, I had fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some laughs on set.
We clearly thought it was good. That's why we all came together and worked for an entire year on it.
Yeah.
I'm leaving Toronto as Tig's coming, and you guys will be out there together.
And I just ran into Fortune at a party the other night.
Stop it.
I did.
I know.
That was a
we
real
didn't know each other was
curveball.
going to be there.
Yeah.
Talk me through, you see each other across a crowded room. Does your face sort of light
Well,
up?
we saw
or-
each other right away. I came up the stairs, and there was Tig and Stephanie sitting down, and we went, because they didn't know I was going to be in town. I really didn't know I was coming back to town. I got like a last minute window off, so I was like, I'm going back home, and flew in that afternoon.
Because
there they
Jax
were.
isn't being sequestered.
Right. Sequestered.
She has access to her phone. But it's funny when I reposted something with Tig and I in it, and everyone's like, "Where's May? Why would you leave May out?" And then you and I, May, when we did went to the Atlantis concert,
Everyone's like,
people were
where's
like,
Tig?
"Where's Tig? Why would you go without Tig?"
People think we're a triad and that we have to always be the three of us.
For sure.
together.
So yeah, it was fun though. It was good to see. I hadn't seen you in person in a minute, so
I don't know when I had seen you, and was it?
probably April.
But you guys
Yeah.
have met before, right?
We have met.
No,
for
I'm joking.
sure.
I'm joking.
Yeah, we met briefly. I was telling May not May, Fortune.
Here we go.
I did, and this is not as big of a deal as it's going to sound, because I tread water, I walk every day, but I've had this, maybe I've talked about it on here, I don't know, but I had a fantasy, because I used to do long distance cycling, 50 to 100 miles a day.
That's nuts.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
And I miss doing that. I like long endurance.
Meditative.
Yeah. I really like that kind of stuff. I used to cycle without listening to music, and I I tread water without listening to music. And when I was in Atlanta months ago, I started to think like, gosh, I really miss doing those kind of endurance. I don't even know what it is. Sports, I don't know.
Pushing yourself to the brink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, God, I can't really do that anymore because of my back and different stuff with my body. And I thought, I feel like I'm somebody that would have been into triathlons. And
I could see that.
yeah, I just, not like against anybody. Like I'm not very competitive. I'm not interested in I don't know. That just isn't my thing. But then I thought, oh, well, I can't do a triathlon because I can't run and I can't ride my bike. And
I can't do any of the three
yeah, I
things.
can't do any of that. And but then I thought, I looked up if you can do a triathlon like in a gym,
Okay.
and people do it. And there are different size triathlons. Like a super sprint triathlon is the shortest triathlon. And it's like 7 minutes of swimming, 30 minutes of cycling, and 15 minutes of running. And I can essentially run on an elliptical or like a Stairmaster type thing
You can bike on a bike machine.
on a stationary bike
Now, where are you swimming?
Where are you swimming?
in my
Tig?
pool.
In your pool, right?
Yeah. And so, yeah.
But you're
And
just swimming in little mini circles?
Just laps.
Oh,
So
okay.
you could build up to a real triathlon, though. It feels
but
yeah.
I've done 2 sprint triathlons
Oh, great.
in the past couple of weeks, and it's been
Great. You're a champion.
I feel so, and maybe that's not helping my back, but
You're like, I'm in a lot of pain, but I did it.
well, we got trapped in that global shutdown.
Yeah,
in
you
traveling.
guys. If there's a way to get trapped, it'll
It'll
happen
I'll
to you.
find it.
Yeah, you'll find it.
And we rent a car and we drive home. And Max and Finn had never been in a car longer than a few hours. And I mean, we drove from Colorado back to LA and canceled half of our trip. But when I got home, I was like, well, the rest of my vacation's done. I'm going to go back to my little fantasy of doing a triathlon. And then I got started doing that. And I feel so proud of myself for doing it.
That's amazing.
So I
You
just
look
thought
like a triathlete.
yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah.
I'm not strong. I'm going to start working on building my strength. I have endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
clearly,
I
if you
can
could
do that.
bike 100 miles a day at some point, that's an endurance.
Can't do it anymore.
It sounds like you have good cardio and good, mental fortitude.
Yeah, the mental part would be tough for people.
Yeah.
I've been treading water this week because I've been in LA.
Yeah.
And I always have to put on a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't do it. If I am left to my thoughts, I just keep thinking, how much longer? When is this done?
I'm wondering what it's doing to my brain and psyche because I'm living alone right now. And anytime that if I'm in the bathroom making breakfast, I'm listening to horrific true crime where it's like, I'm like, what vibrations am I putting in my body? It's like terrible tales. I'm watching a series called like Worst Roommate Ever, and it's about I met
that.
this. You watched that?
Mm-hmm.
You watched Fortune? It's like I met this nice guy who's going to be my roommate, and then he killed me, and it's
murdered.
And I live to tell.
He murdered his landlady.
And then I went to see Long Legs, that really scary new movie with Nicolas Cage, that like serial killer, and I was like, why am I doing this? I'm so stressed.
So interesting.
I had a really weird thing happen. I met my friend and I was meeting his girlfriend for the first time, and she's from Taiwan. I was really excited. He talks about her so much. He's madly in love. And so I meet them, and she's kind of nervous to meet me, and we're going to see this movie together. And she gives me this present. She's like, I brought it all the way from China, and it's like a metal bookmark and a beautiful bracelet and stuff. And I was like, oh, thanks so much. And I was drinking a bottle of water, and then we go to head into the movie, and I went to throw the bottle of water in the recycling, but I just threw the bag with her present in the garbage, and I didn't know I'd done it.
You didn't know you did it.
They were both looking at me like, what? Because it looked like I just went, oh, thanks so much, and then tossed it in the trash and walked away. And then I was like, oh my God, I had to dive into the trash and get it, but
you did get it.
I did get it. Yeah,
that is hilarious.
I fished it out.
She's like, it took me 80 days to make this. You're like, toss.
Yeah,
that would have been such a nice present for somebody to find in a in a dump.
This beautiful bookmark.
Yes.
Like a rat crawls out and it's wearing the necklace. And
Classic rat.
Classic. Are you guys rat phobic? Why haven't we talked about this?
Why haven't we? I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Love a rat.
You love a
Really?
rat?
I don't know. We
Thanks for taking a strong stance though.
Home insurance can feel complicated. You want to save money, but it feels like a time-consuming process, and you're busy. Allstate wants to make switching and saving on your home insurance as simple and easy as possible. Make the switch today and start saving.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
This podcast is supported by FX's English Teacher, a new comedy created by and starring Brian Jordan Alvarez, and from the executive producer that brought you What We Do in the Shadows.
English teacher follows Evan, a teacher in Austin, Texas, who learns if it's really possible to be your full self at your job while often finding himself at the intersection of the personal, professional, and political aspects of working at a high school.
FX's English teacher is now streaming on Hulu. All new Mondays on FX. We have our house is covered in ivy.
Okay.
And the ivy covers our windows too.
Oh,
and
God. That's a place for rats.
Not all windows, but yeah, we have some critters that appear every now and then. And the kitties, we call it rat TV because they all gather around and stare. We didn't know what was happening for a while because all three would be sitting there staring at a window. And we're like, oh, there's a rodent in there.
I would think ghosts for sure, but there are rats crawling up and down your walls, maybe.
Well, not like inside our house.
I burn that ivy.
We have our house rodent proofed. But I mean, for now, I guess they could.
Don't leave the door open.
That's a good idea. Yeah, or the windows that they're
they would come in through the windows for sure.
Yeah, they would come in. They even rang the doorbell the other day, and I was like, I am not falling for this.
They're wearing the jewelry that they found in the garbage.
From Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I do not like them. They really. And in Toronto, they're like dog size.
Giant.
I do
Giant
not
rats,
like them.
giant raccoons out there.
Yeah, I like raccoons though with their little hands. Yeah,
Not me.
You don't like a raccoon?
No.
Fortune.
What? Why?
Fortune.
They're
Why
so cute.
Why would I like a raccoon?
Why wouldn't you?
They're full of diseases, aren't they?
So you don't like people that have diseases?
Yeah, what are you saying?
And they get into your trash and
What if when I had cancer, I was getting into your trash? Would you be like, I don't...
Shoo.
shot a BB gun towards you.
I had a raccoon break into my apartment one time, and when I was a teenager,
opened
it
the
literally,
door.
it's
Oh, did it have or did it have burglar eye?
Yeah,
like a raccoon.
It was a Oh wait, did I say rat? I meant raccoon.
Yeah,
you said raccoon, and I was just thinking they have those eyes that are like burglar eyes,
little burglars, and they left little, like you could just follow the footprints and see exactly what it had done, and it had really just had the time of its life.
Oh yeah, did the raccoon come in there and make the bed? What did it do?
It was, it made the bed.
Or did it mess things up?
No, it went in my cupboards and left a
made
note
a mess?
saying.
But we love raccoons.
No, Fortune, it didn't make a mess.
We love it. But we love this adorable raccoon came in and wreaked havoc. Cute.
Yes.
My problem is I always think there's some like spiritual significance to seeing an animal. Like I get hippie. I'm like, oh, what does rats signify? And it's like, no, they're just everywhere. Like the fact that I saw a rat isn't a message from the universe.
Oh my gosh. I saw the funniest clip of Mark Maron's.
Tell me.
He was talking, you know how his girlfriend, this is not funny, but his girlfriend died during COVID. Do you know this? Mm-hmm. Not COVID related. I think she had a very rare blood disease. But the joke, the story, whatever he was talking about, it was essentially he was outside, and of course I'm going to get this all wrong, but he was hanging out and like a little hummingbird showed up, and he was talking about how when you're in a place of grief and stuff, you'll make anything magical and special. And he said, so he was sitting there looking at this bird thinking like, oh my gosh, that of course that's Lynn. Lynn's come to visit me. It makes all the sense in the world. There she is. That's Lynn. And he was talking about how comforting it was. And then the next day, there were like 4 hummingbirds. And he was like, what is this? Lynn and all of her dead friends?
These people.
It was everywhere. I thought I loved it so much.
I just went to see.
I made friends.
Yeah. These are all my dead friends.
She brought 3 of the Beatles. Oh no, only 2 of them are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to see a psychic a couple of days ago that was recommended to me by Toni Collette, who was in my show, the great Toni Collette. And she was like, I have this woman. And I don't know. I had a crazy experience. Like some of it was so specific, the stuff that she said,
Oh yeah.
that I really don't know what to make of it. Some of it was not accurate, and I was like, I don't know what that means. But then some of it was really, really specific. And anyway, the point is, I bought a package of 4 sessions, so I'm going back, and in the next thing, she wants to do past life regressions, and she's like, if there's anyone in your life who you're curious if you have a past life connection with them, we can look into 3 relationships. So I immediately thought, take Fortune and Thomas.
What?
I really want to find out if we have
we have a past life connection?
Yeah.
Wow.
Please do tell if when you find out.
I did not expect my name,
I didn't expect
Fortune's
my
name, or
name.
Thomas's name to be a part of this.
When
I thought you were gonna be like this girlfriend, this
Yeah.
person from England.
well, when it comes down to it and I'm lying there, will I change my mind and not use my 3 precious things? Maybe, but wouldn't it be interesting if we found out that we were all like on a pirate ship together in like
Yes.
1700s?
We made our way back to each other.
Yeah.
I don't think about past lives ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't either.
I would be more into the psychic part of like, what does she see? But I don't think about the past as much.
Yeah. I'm into it. I feel like my energy is lousy with like other people's experiences or like past things that I don't know what they are.
But what do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that, I guess.
You think you have some weird past stuff with people?
Or just like my own past experiences.
You think that your past experiences are dictating your present and future?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's like I feel the remnants of like stuff that I don't understand or haven't experienced personally myself.
Right.
Whether that's like intergenerational, like family stuff, or whether I was, Aladdin in another life.
I could see that.
Aladdin on a pirate ship, maybe?
Yeah, could be. Was
Does-
Aladdin a real guy?
May, I don't know. You're the one with the facts.
Yeah, you're the facts person.
I'm not sure.
Do you feel like a sense of peace or something when you go to see a psychic? Like it.
To
brings
be
you-
honest, no. It stirred up a lot of shock. Now I'm like, I got to go back and talk to all these dead people. Like I'm freaking out a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think it will bring me like
Okay.
it is reassuring to for me to think that there's stuff out there that I don't understand. But
I haven't been to a psychic in so long.
If there was a hummingbird, like say I died and a hummingbird came around, would you be like, oh my gosh, there she is?
I don't think I would connect hummingbird to you, but if it was something
It is
else,
my favorite bird.
it is.
Yes.
Well, now that you say
Okay.
that, we will
Yes.
connect it. I don't usually connect people to animals either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are you saying? You're completely grounded, Fortune?
What if?
I feel like energy, I'm definitely an energy person. Like I don't necessarily feel like my grandmother's like around me like in ghost form, but I feel the energy of like love. If that
We
makes
should-
sense.
Make an agreement that like so if I tragically die in a car accident,
Everybody, calm down.
I can't.
What am I going to carry this podcast alone?
No. But I'm gonna come to you guys as a raccoon, and I've said it here, and I'll stand by
You're
it.
going to come back as a raccoon? That's
I'm
the
gonna
one
come
you're
vi-
picking?
No, I'm gonna come visit you guys if you see a random
Well,
raccoon.
clearly May doesn't want to see you again, Fortune.
Yeah, because I'm going to shoo you away.
Yeah.
Go get.
I'm going to come back as a rat peeking in your window.
Y'all are picking the animals I don't want near my house.
What would you like? A mighty stag or like a
Pomeranian.
like a stallion? A Pomeranian, right?
What
right,
about
right.
a hummingbird?
I like hummingbirds too. I would the hummingbird. I always appreciate. Definitely a Pomeranian. You'd be welcomed in my house and treated like a king and queen.
I was thinking recently that I should tell Stephanie that when I die, just know that if you talk to me, I hear you, and that I am around. Even though
Even
I
though you can't
don't know
fulfill
that
that
I
promise.
believe that, I
Wait,
still.
You were just like, I should tell her that.
Because if she's sad and she's trying to talk to me and connect, I want her to feel like I'm hearing her.
Just
Right.
know I'm always with you. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
You should just pre-record a bunch of recordings of you going, yes.
Go on.
Go on. Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Girl, get out of here.
Girl.
This is unrelated to what we're talking about, but I can't help but mention it. Even though my travels were interrupted, my summer break, and we got home to Los Angeles, I still hopped on a flight and went to Mr. Thomas's wedding.
We have to talk about the wedding. I need highlights. If there's pictures you're comfortable sharing, Thomas, on the socials.
Thomas
Oh my
got
gosh.
married.
We got sent
Yes.
one photo that was so stunning.
He's a full blown man now.
Yes, yeah. It was so beautiful. And Thomas and Laura looked just exquisite, and it was so touching. Everybody at the ceremony was so nice, and but I think I told Fortune when I ran into her at the party, but May, you don't know this. And I don't know if Thomas knows the extent, but
Here we go. Oh my God, what's about to happen?
Here comes some more TIG
it was
travel.
a TIG journey.
Yes.
Oh my God.
TIG journey happens. And we were out like 2 hours away from Toronto and at a lake in cabins. Of course, not a lot of vegan options, not a lot of soy milk decaf
Lattes.
or cortados. So I take the rental car and I drive 40 minutes to go
Just
get
for
some,
a soy
and to get some food.
Oh my God.
to go
And for
get
some cauliflower.
Yeah, driving out there for a carrot. And then, guess who got a flat tire?
Of course.
Okay, I get a flat tire 40 minutes away.
Because you ran over my grandmother visiting you as a porcupine.
Absolutely. Stephanie like, oh my God, take an Uber back. And I'm like, there are no Ubers. I can't describe where I am right now. And so the rental car company, AAA, everybody's like, we're sending someone to come pick up the car. Then we're having another car being delivered. It'll be there in an hour.
Wait, this is not on the day of the wedding, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh
Yes,
my
it is.
God.
Yes,
Tig.
it is. And the clock is ticking.
Oh my God. This is like a movie.
Well, guess who was stuck for 4 hours? Not an hour.
Like on the
4.
side of the road?
No, in like some weird strip mall.
Oh, okay.
I was able to drive the car with
Oh,
a
that's
completely flat tire
Yeah.
at like 2 miles an hour to this place. So,
Any vegan food in that strip mall?
well, there was a Starbucks
Okay.
that I got out to. And so I'm sitting there hanging out for 4 hours
Jeez.
waiting. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to miss the wedding for sure. Going to miss this wedding.
Yeah.
And there is this app. There was this app that Thomas had mentioned in an email about a local rideshare. Mm-hmm. So I had to sign up for the app and order a car, which took. This is not like a car that shows up in 3 minutes. I mean, it was like a 20-minute wait after, you know, like the nearest car to come to me.
It's a grandmother that's just like...
No, it was some guy that was so aggressive with his driving and was like riding on people's asses, you know, and just riding up on the bumper of the car in front of us and that car slowing down. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have 40 minutes to go. Time is a ticking. And I'm thinking, am I going to get in a car accident? And this guy's like, I don't know what this guy's problem is. And it was so clear he was half of this problem.
Yeah.
And I get back to the cabin and I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't have time to iron my clothes. I couldn't find an iron in the cabin I had rented. So I wet my clothes, throw them in the dryer to dry.
Oh my God.
the heat on the dryer didn't work.
No.
Oh my
I
God.
just have soaking wet clothes.
Freezing cold
and
wet
I
clothes.
put them back on, and I had put my, over the bathtub, rinsed my hair because I was sweating.
Yeah.
It was
Oh my
so
God.
insane. And then, so I, no hair dryer either. I have wet hair, soaking wet clothes. And then I just know I have to get to Thomas's wedding, and I decide I'm going to run. And I know I've already said in this, I can't run. It hurts my back. I showed up to his wedding with my back in horrible pain. And then now I'm running.
Limping.
And I'm like videotaping myself to send to Stephanie. I'm like, I am running to this wedding. I am going to get there. By God. And meanwhile, in the background, my assistant was on the phone trying to navigate. I had her dealing with it because I knew that if I was going to be at the wedding, I'm not going to be able to get this car delivered to me.
Yeah.
We had to reroute the car. So I have footage that I have not shown Thomas yet. I'm at his wedding, which is so beautiful. The backdrop of water. Did I show it to you, Fortune?
Yeah, it's so funny. It looks like something out of a movie.
Oh
This
my
is
gosh.
all a Judd Apatow movie. Yeah.
Okay, I'm filming Thomas and Laura exchanging vows. And in the distance, there is a drive that goes over the lake, and you see a huge tow truck carrying my new car coming down in the background. And
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
Thomas, you didn't see this, didn't you?
But it's
You
not
were-
a paved road, so it's like
No, it was a
kicking
gravel
dirt up
road, kicking
everywhere.
dirt up. So I'm filming Thomas, and I'm like all teary-eyed. And then I hear this in the background, and I turn around and I capture that. And then I turn back and continue filming
Oh
Thomas.
my God.
And
It's very funny.
oh my God, it was quite an ordeal. But the car got delivered there. I made it to the wedding, and it was so beautiful.
Picturing you soaking wet, sprinting into a wedding, and everybody's there sipping their champagne, and you're like,
I mean, truly, it was so insane. Oh, and halfway in my run, this school bus is pulling up, which I remembered hearing somebody say that the shuttle for the wedding is going to be a school bus. And I see a school bus driving, and I jump in front of the school bus and I flag them down. And and I was like, can I get in there? And they're like, yeah. And that was the people being shuttled to the wedding.
Hilarious.
And I
Okay.
get on, and I was like, oh my God, everybody's sitting in the school bus. I go, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm soaking wet. And they're like, I know, it's so hot out. And I go, no. I don't even know where to begin to tell you. I've been stranded for 4 hours,
That
40
is
minute away.
insane.
I, blah, blah,
my
blah,
God.
threw my clothes in the dryer. There was no heat in the dryer. I'm soaking wet because of the dryer and my hair. There was no hair dryer. And I've been running down a dirt road. So
I wish it ended up being a school bus full of random kids, and you were like,
I would have gotten
sorry.
on.
Like, can
Yeah,
I
and
get
they
a
would've-
ride?
I would have got
you to this wedding.
In Canada, they would have definitely taken you to the wedding.
For sure, it would have been like Mighty Ducks. Like they would have all got behind you.
And
I'm
you're like,
telling
good
you,
luck at your game.
Yeah.
I got there minutes before.
That is wild.
And
Yeah.
Thomas,
Anyway.
I mean, was it a very happy? It would be crazy if you said no, that it wasn't a happy day. But did you?
He's like,
were
I've
you,
got
were you
notes.
emotional and?
I
it
was
beautiful?
pretty emotional. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I'm still processing it. It was incredible. I mean, it
Yeah.
was everything
was-
we wanted it to be, and so special, and to just be surrounded by so many loving people from our lives was amazing, and to have Tig there was so special.
Well, and it was
I
such
have
a
a picture of Tig in the way.
Oh, that's
shorts.
the best.
Yeah, Tig's in shorts and flip flops.
yeah.
Wait, you wore shorts and flip flops?
I had to because
Wait.
He's like, wait a second.
Wait a second.
I absolutely that was my choice. I
What is
had
this
to do
fashion
this
faux pas.
because I knew I had to run, and the shoes that I had I was supposed to wear were nice shoes.
Yeah.
And the pant. It
The
was so
blisters.
hot out.
That's
So,
hilarious.
but yeah, it was so beautiful. And it was such a small wedding. And I felt terrible because Stephanie and Max and Finn didn't come because of our travel disaster. I was like, I'll just go. And it was hilarious because Max was like, we're not going. And I said, no, it's just been too crazy. You guys just need to be home. And he was like, "Ugh, that sucks."
Delta's ruined everything.
Yeah.
Did you go swimming in the lake and stuff after?
No.
You were like, good night.
My back hurt. But anyway, I just had to share that. And it truly was so beautiful. So beautiful.
I love that.
man.
Congrats,
Congrats.
Mr. Thomas.
Congrats.
Thomas.
Thanks, guys.
And then as I was leaving, Thomas, as the gentleman that he is, he was like, let me walk you to your car. And I was like, this is your wedding. You don't have to walk me to my car. And then I said my goodbyes and I burst into hysterical tears. And anyway,
Thomas is like, everything was perfect except for shorts.
why'd I invite Tig? Don't invite me anywhere. There's going to be some disaster
Not with
that
the
happens.
travel involved.
Yeah.
I think it's just, if I invited you somewhere, I just wouldn't let you leave the location. Once you're there, it's like, don't let her think she's going to get a carrot. Because
Don't tell her there's carrots 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
I should start working on shows where I'm quarantined or whatever.
Yeah.
in
Yeah, you
lockdown.
should be in one spot.
Sequestered, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine you on that show, Amazing Race, which is all about just the luck
I
of
would
traveling?
do well. I
Do
would
you
do
think?
well.
Because
No
you figure
way.
out these crazy things, but
Yeah.
it would be entertaining to watch you deal with all the hiccups, though.
Yeah, all the canceled flights. And
I make it through though.
You do
sometimes
make
on
it. Race is
crutches, sometimes
stressful.
with broken wrists and stuff. But
You roll into your destination
I make it happen.
in shorts and flip flops.
Yeah.
Flops.
If life was a sitcom, it would be anytime you enter a scene, it would be like, sorry, I'm like, guys, this thing happened. You'd have a different cast on a different part.
I just love that you were like, my original flight got canceled. I drove cross country, flew to Toronto, had to
Yeah.
get vegan food, got a flat tire, waited 4 hours, got almost in a wreck, clothes wet, dryer didn't work, and May's like, you wore shorts?
Fortune, I'm impressed you recalled all of
Yeah.
that in the exact order.
That's
That was
right.
incredible. Yeah.
Should we get to our guest?
Let's
Yeah,
do
let's
it.
do it.
Today's questioner is a comedian, writer, and TV host who hosted Weekend Update on SNL for 8 seasons. And from there, he became the host of Late Night on NBC, which he's been hosting since 2014. Our questioner of today is the lovely Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, handsome, this is Seth Meyers. And my question is this: when was the first time you needed a passport to travel? And when you got that passport, were you of the age where you had to do it all? You had to go get a picture taken and you had to go to a proper passport office in a government building? Or were you so little that someone else, an adult, took a little picture of you and you didn't have to do any of the waiting in line? Fill me in.
I mean, if I have been asked this question once,
Yeah, it feels like
I love him. He's so nice.
it feels like a niche passion of his, almost
Yeah.
like so.
Yeah.
He
He's
strikes
so
me as
handsome.
someone who comes from a family who probably traveled early on.
what?
Oh, really?
What? Based on what? Please.
I don't know. He and his brother are really tight and they do a lot of stuff together and they seem tight with their parents. They just seem like a little unit that just kind of like adventured together.
Yeah.
I could picture him at sort of 8 years old in a suit at the airport.
A seersucker.
Guys, speaking of travel disasters, I'm just realizing I was on a travel disaster with Seth once.
No.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes. We were going to do a gig together and I don't remember what happened. I feel like he's better at there was like a weather situation and the show got canceled and then we had to go back and then I think I can't remember. Terrible story. Keep that in, Thomas.
Keep it in.
He was the head writer of SNL when I tested for that show twice many moons ago.
How would you not get that?
Yeah.
I didn't. They flew me out 2009 and 2010 and I auditioned on stage, with the everyone in the background with the lights, that old Broadway kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And was
and
that
he was the head writer, and
he was
so
involved
lovely.
in the decision?
No, I mean, I think they weigh in, and
Mm-hmm.
but ultimately the decision is Lauren. And my feedback at the time was that everybody wanted me, and Lauren was on the fence.
Oh my
I
god.
thought Chevy Chase made all the decisions.
Oh yeah. But he was so nice during that whole crazy, very intense.
Were you nervous?
Oh, so nervous.
Oh man.
What did that look like?
Well, because it was early on in my career. I started comedy in 2005, stand up in 2007. So this is 2009. I'm pretty green.
Mm.
And I grew up watching SNL. It was like my beacon of like comedy, of like, I was obsessed with it, learned the sketches. So, and I, at the time, I just signed my first manager like 2 weeks before I got this audition. I thought my whole career was riding on their yes or no.
Mm.
And if I got a no, that was it. Pack it up and go home. So I put a lot of weight on it that now I know it's, it would have been cool, but it obviously does not make or break a career.
You didn't know Handsome was coming.
I did not know that was in my future. No psychic had told me yet.
Mm-hmm.
Did you meet him then or later?
That was the first time I met him. Yeah.
Okay. I really want to meet him. He's one of the like a handful of people where I'm like, I think we'd get along. But then that's probably his skill as like a late night host. Everyone feels like they're friends with him, but
he's genuinely nice.
Yeah.
So you would for sure get along.
I feel like he always has such great, political angles on his show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I feel like it's always really well done.
Yeah. He's got, and good vibes.
Yeah.
And I like those segments he does of day drinking. He did one day drinking with Rihanna where they got really drunk in the day. And that combination of their two energies was pretty electric. It was great. Passports. Yeah.
Is he's saying like the first one ever?
Yeah. I think my family traveled a lot. My dad was like a food writer. So there was, when I was 3, they put all our stuff in storage and we went on like this trip because he was reviewing all these
for how long
hotels. 6 months we were on the road. We drove all through Europe.
Wait, you put all your stuff in storage, like sold your house type thing?
I don't think they owned the house, so they
I see. I see.
We were just renting, so they put everything in storage. And then I was 3, my brother was 7, and we took 6 months out of
do you remember it?
Yeah, but maybe that's because there's tons of pictures, but I feel like I vividly remember it. Yeah, I remember them reading Narnia to us in the car, and I remember one time we missed a ferry, very Tig moment, missed the ferry. There was some like fluke thing, and I remember how that they weren't speaking to each other, but they were speaking to us, so they were like relaying messages to each other in a tiny car. It was like,
fun.
Tell your father,
your mother.
Yeah.
She just missed a turn.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so I think I had a passport early.
Yeah, so young,
yeah. I wonder, I feel like in his story, we're going to find out why this question's important to him, because I'm like, is there some experience of going as an adult and lining up?
Well,
and
he does. We didn't mention this in the intro, but he does have a podcast about travel, like road trips. Stephanie and I have talked about potentially when Max and Finn are in junior high, packing up and traveling with them for like a year.
Whoa. I was talking to Parv about something similar, just as a fantasy, because it's like middle school is so fucking hard, and those years, why not? Like, you'd learn so much.
Get them out of there.
Like, you guys don't want to be in school, right? When we can teach you in España.
I mean, who knows what'll be going on in our lives at that time, but it's really a fantasy of mine to pack up, travel, maybe go out for a month, come home for a month, out for a month, home for a month. Because of course we'd miss Kitty City.
Oh yeah,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, but and then if that went well, the dream would be 2 years, and then done with junior high, and boom, off to high school you go.
Whoa,
there you go.
Where you kind of have, I think, things a little more together when you get to high school.
It'd be cool to do that with a kind of a pod, like another family or another couple of families, so that they have like kids their
Friends.
age still, but you're still as a
We're their
group.
friends.
Yeah, sorry, of course. Yeah, you're their best friends. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
have each other. I lived in Spain for a year by myself. It didn't get lonely.
Oh God, but you met some people. I love the Spain stories so much.
I met some people, but it wouldn't be the same as having a wife and kids with you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have, it's weird that passports, you got, what is it, every 10 years you renew them, right? So
Yeah.
you have these weird little
I
like
just got mine
snapshots.
renewed.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird when a baby has a passport and then it lasts for 10 years till
Yeah.
they're 10.
Yeah,
It's
It's
like
like,
to update this picture.
Yeah.
yeah.
My family did not travel. My mom traveled a lot when she was younger overseas. My family, we did not have much money, so there was no trips being taken overseas.
Mhm.
Our big vacations were like if we drove to Florida in a minivan to go to Disney World, or Myrtle Beach was a big
Sure.
hubbub, or the beach in North Carolina.
Yeah.
My first overseas trip was in college. I went to Mexico twice, 2 summers in a row, to the Yucatan to study the Mayan ruins.
Whoa.
I know I was so into history.
I know
And
you were a historian archaeologist.
I really thought at the time that there was an amazing anthropology professor at my college who did this trip, and I was like, do I want to become an anthropologist?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't think that there's much money in that.
Anthropology?
So the business side of me was like, but I loved it. I went to like all these Mayan ruins and studied the culture and the language. It was very neat. We lived in a house right there in the middle of the Yucatan. But at the time, I don't know if this is still the case, you didn't have to have a passport. You could just take your birth certificate to the airport.
Oh, reals?
And so I didn't get a passport. I took my birth certificate both summers. So I didn't get a passport until I moved to Spain right after I graduated college, and I went to the AAA and got my picture taken. And I was so excited. And I remember my goal was like, this was my first passport. I was moving to Spain. I was going to travel all over Europe. I was so pumped every time I got a new stamp in
the
a
stamps,
country, and I would go through the passport looking at all the stamps that I was getting. I thought it was the coolest thing.
It is pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
I still love getting a stamp in
I
there.
gotta get a
I'm
stamp.
And sometimes they don't
53.
stamp because they're programs that are all computerized. Not everywhere, but some of the places don't stamp now. And you're like, I don't want a stamp.
Yeah, stamp me.
I one time, did I tell you that I one time was booking a trip for me and my girlfriend at the time, and then so I needed her passport details to book the flights online, and I opened her passport and she'd lied about her age by 3 years to me for a year.
Up or down?
Yeah,
It's always down.
She said she was younger than she was. Yeah. Oh, you thought she was a teenager by accident?
What did you do with that information?
I eventually said, okay, I'll book this trip, but also, hey,
Also, you're a liar.
yeah.
That would be weird to find that out.
Should have been a red flag early
like
on.
1 year, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
3
yeah,
years.
yeah.
1 year is even weird.
It's weird
Like,
either way,
I
it's
can't. When I
weird.
picture myself telling Stephanie that I am an age that I am not,
It's strange.
it's
Yeah.
so strange. That is
Yeah.
correct. It is strange.
When my grandma died, it turned out that she'd lied. She was still a practicing an agent working, and she'd lied to all her clients because they wouldn't have wanted a 90-year-old agent. So they all thought she was like 80.
I get you a job.
That's better
Yeah.
to have an 80-year-old
that I
agent.
understand.
Yeah.
In all fairness, most people don't want a 90-year-old agent. An 80-year-old agent.
I mean,
is pushing
80.
it.
Yeah.
Look, you could be the president of the United States.
And I don't want to like make any people feel bad. All of our 90-year-old listeners,
of which there are many.
so many. An 80-year-old. I mean, that's our sweet spot. The 80 to 90-year-olds.
Yeah, I feel like
Thank
anyone
you for
pushing-
listening.
Anyone pushing 80 should be retiring or long retired.
Really?
For your own
I mean, as an
purposes.
agent or just a person?
As a person, like they should be able to enjoy life and not be.
But what if you're enjoying life doing what you do?
Yeah,
I
what
mean,
if
if
you
they really
she
love
loved
it.
her she loved her job. I mean, she
Sure.
still used a typewriter. And
Typewriter?
she had like an assistant who would transcribe and do
She had an
emailing and stuff.
assistant that had a beeper, a pager.
A pager. Yeah.
So she was with the time. She's no fool.
Yeah.
That is so deeply funny. A
wonder-
90-year-old agent with a typewriter.
She was really good at her job.
Dear client,
Yeah.
But you have an audition.
Yeah.
on
please write
Tuesday.
back and let me know if you will be able to make it.
The carrier
P.S.
pigeon will bring this message to you. Can you please return via carrier pigeon by end
Before
of day?
springtime.
Her assistant was, I should look her up. She was this hilarious woman who, I guess when I was about 6, she must have been in her 40s, this woman. And I remember going to my grandma's office and I would just hang out with Lucy, who was in her 40s. And we came up with this game that was like, if you drink
Who
some of this
said she was 40?
yeah, who knows? She could have
Yeah.
been 43. And she said, if you drink this potion, you have to do a dare that the other one gives you. And this was like, we would cry laughing. And I was 6 and she was 40, but we were like best buds. And I gave her a dare and I said, go into my grandma's office where my grandma is quite buttoned up. She's got clients in there. I'm like, get on the floor and do Swan Lake, like ballet. And she went and did it. And everyone
That's
was like,
brave.
what's happening? Yeah, it was almost like a kind of jackass style prank. But as
What do you
a
think your
6-year-old to see an
grandmother's
adult,
reaction was?
she laughed. Yeah.
Smoking a cig. You do amuse me.
Oh,
Except
now
with
that
the
is funny.
With a British accent.
Let me make a note of that. Click, 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 click. I don't ever want to forget. Click, 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 click. That is funny.
Do you remember the first time you got a passport, Tig?
I do. I remember it quite well.
Really?
I was 29.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, later on.
Yeah. I didn't leave the country aside from Canada, I guess, and Mexico. Yeah, it was the days that I was an assistant at the production company that did the show Xena.
Oh
that's
my God.
right. Yeah.
And Xena is filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah.
That is right. And so when the show was ending, I went out there with my friend Andy, who worked at the company, and the two of us went out to Auckland for the
To visit set.
I can't even remember if we visited set. Maybe we did, but we traveled all over. And but yeah, that was my first time to get a passport, and I just loved New Zealand. Have you been there?
Never.
That's so
Queenstown might be one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen.
Really?
Is that in the South Island?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't
It's-
make it to the South Island. It was only in the North Island.
It's like you feel like you're on another planet.
That's how the whole country is.
Yeah.
I gotta go. You know, there's no snakes in
Yeah,
New
I know,
Zealand.
I
I like
know.
that.
Yeah. But very steep. The steepest road on earth is there. This,
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Mayfact.
Auckland's like kind of a city. It's pretty, but like some of those islands and some of the places beyond outside of the city is just like breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very safe and very clean and it's just like magical.
Yes.
We need to. I can't believe that you know Lucy Lawless and like your proximity to Xena at the time. It was so huge for me. We got to make good on that. We got to get Lucy
Gotta
Lawless.
make good on that.
And I
thing.
told you she was at my wedding in Mississippi.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
Xena Warrior Princess in small town Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh my God. And is she very tall?
She's 5'10".
Yeah.
That's my height.
Amazonian
Yeah.
warrior princess.
That's how I am often described.
And
Yeah.
and they hired, Renee O'Connor, who played her sidekick on the show.
Yeah.
She's very short, and that was just to kind of accentuate the size
Oh,
difference
really?
between them. Yeah.
I mean, there must be a lot of fan fiction out there about those two.
Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed.
In my brain when I was a kid. Anyway, should we hear what Seth has to say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
My answer to that question is I was hired by an American comedy theater called Boom Chicago in Amsterdam. I had finished college. I'd never traveled anywhere where I needed a passport, and I wish I still had it. After it was defunct, so 10 years after I got it, I lost the old one, and I wish I still had it because I would thumb through it and I would look at all those old stamps and I would think to myself, the carefree days of my youth before children, when I would just jet set around and look how young I looked. Look at that young man's face. Anyway, save your passports. Save your passports.
Yeah.
Travel the world.
Yeah. His voice there at the end sounded like maybe he was friends with your grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Travel the world.
Yes.
Click, click,
Travel
click,
the
click,
world.
click.
Click,
Travel
click,
the
click.
world. Yes.
Save your
Remember your
passport.
youth. I am glad I did that. I am glad I couldn't do it now. I have too many responsibilities, but I'm so happy that I took a year to just live abroad, travel, be on trains, live in hostels. I had no money. I was so broke. And it was such an eye-opening, like, cool,
Yeah,
like
man.
a small town girl who had never really seen that kind of thing. It really was significant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm amazed that you haven't started singing Journey. I was waiting
Just
for...
a small town girl.
There we go.
Living in a España world.
Nice.
España means Spain in Spanish.
Oh, thank you, Fortune.
You're welcome.
So fluent. Are you fluent?
No.
Did you say that in Spanish?
No.
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 Yo hablo un poco de español. I did all right 21 years ago when I was there. I could get by, but in Spain, that's very difficult. They speak very fast and with their tongue, everything's like gracias, tomo de piña, it's
Well, slow down.
That was pretty
Fortune.
sexy.
I cannot
They're like
understand a
Italians
word
with
you
their
are
hands
saying.
And so
Where is there a place you spent the most time?
in Sevilla is where I lived.
Sevilla,
And then I went on 4 different excursions where I traveled Europe for 2 weeks on trains.
Yeah.
All
Love
of
it.
Western Europe, not Eastern Europe.
Were you hopping trains,
Hopping trains, staying
but
in
like without a
hostels.
ticket? Were you
No,
like,
I'm a rule follower. I had a ticket. I had the Eurail pass.
okay.
Yeah.
You were
Right.
trying to pay them more money as you got on that you didn't
That's
even have
right.
to.
And I just was broke every day. Ran
You
out
were
of
broke
money.
because
I
you were
was
just throwing your cash all around.
right. Sleeping in a hostel with like 16 people in the room.
Oh my God. And you don't like rats? That sounds like a worse nightmare to me.
Yeah.
Having 16 people in the room.
You'd rather
It
have
is.
16 rats?
I'd
not
like
great.
not one rat. I'd take a rat and a raccoon
Over 16 people
over
in a room.
16 people in a room.
It's not ideal.
No.
I did stay in a hostel in Barcelona, and I only had a short time
Barcelona.
in the city, and I was so excited to explore. And then I got so drunk the first night with my friend that we were
Classic me.
violently ill. And the next day, we spent the whole day in the dark in the hostel in the like shared living space with like 6 guys from Argentina just watching Fight Club. Yeah.
And you said everything that stays in Barcelona happens in Barcelona. Stays
Or
in
however the
Barcelona.
saying goes.
Wait, or is
Somebody
that
print
Vegas?
that on a bumper
Is that
sticker.
Vegas? What's Fight Club? Oh, no one. That's the Vegas thing.
Oh,
The
you're
Fight
trying to
Club
think of
is
the Fight
no one
Club
talks
thing?
about Fight Club. What is
It's very catchy, Fortune.
The first,
What's the Fight Club thing?
isn't it
No one
first
talks
rule
about
of
Fight
Fight
Club.
Club?
Anyone that fights in Barcelona stays in Vegas.
I was quoting Vegas's catchphrase. Fight Club has a catchphrase.
the first rule of Fight Club: don't talk about.
Don't
Fight
talk
Club.
about Fight Club.
Yeah.
Thank you, May.
Yeah, it also
okay.
has this
I've
part
been
where
following the rules for years.
there's a guy in the
talk
movie.
about
I
it.
think Meatloaf plays a character who dies in the movie called like Robert Palmer or something. They're like, remember Robert Palmer, something like that. And then me and my friend bought a cauliflower and we were going, remember cauliflower. We thought it was great. Anyway.
We should have a segment where we share inside jokes
that do not work out.
And we only laugh at ourselves.
Oh my God. We're like, oh my God. When I was in 7th grade, my friend and I used to be like, pretty. Anyway, it's a long story.
It's a long story. You had to be there.
What a podcast.
What a podcast.
What a podcast. Well, thank you to Seth Meyers.
Mm-hmm.
And
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope to meet you one day. Was that needy?
No, it's great. I'm
mean
sure
it.
you'll do a show at some point.
Great.
It's great. It's great. Don't forget to go to handsomepod.com to check out our merch. We have some great merch, some really fun shirts and a sweatshirt and a pride bag and a mug. We got coffee, we got stickers, enamel pens, socks. I mean, you can get your whole wardrobe except for pants and panties at our merch.
That's
store.
right. That is right, Fortune.
And
Thank you
keep
for
tagging
pointing that
us.
out.
Tag us in your post. We love seeing it on our social media. It's always cool to see out in the wild.
I also wanted to say that this weekend is the Creative Arts Emmys when Stephanie will find out if she wins.
Oh,
Best-
shit.
Yeah. Oh
We're
my
gonna
God.
be crossing toes and fingers.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
please cross it all. And then also, check out my special, Hello Again, that Stephanie directed. And then go to tignotaro.com for my sporadic shows in Los Angeles and Toronto and everywhere in between. Very sporadic these days, but come on out.
And thanks for listening. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And in closing,
Keep
it
handsome.
handsome.
saving money on home insurance should be easy. I'm always saying that. And with Allstate, you could save money on your home insurance without the hassle. Whether you're a new homeowner or want to make the switch from an existing policy, Allstate is ready to save you time and money without the headache.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state, based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.